How's it going, class? I'm Mason Graves. I did my business continuity plan on the boat shop. So let's dive into it. So the BCP outline here, I pretty much went through everything that was in my BCP. I go in depth a little bit more on certain things and leave a couple things out because of confidentiality. I go through it all, end on the appendix, obviously, and then how was the information found? So let's get on into this. The plan overview. First of all, I started with the executive summary. This is just the overview of the BCP. It stated our mission statement. The mission of the boat shop is to assist while you're making your choice with your boat's ongoing maintenance, customization, or purchasing of a new boat. The executive summary is to see the importance of the BCP and just an overall or an overview of the entire thing. The purpose. Why does the boat shop need the BCP? The BCP is critical to the boat shop to maintain critical functions, manage and mitigate the risk that they take on, and it outlines steps taken in times of crisis or disaster. The scope, who does the plan, or what is the plan for? Who does it cover? It covers all boat shop departments and personnel within those departments. It covers events that have been caused by a disaster. The objective, what is the BCP trying to accomplish? We want to meet legal, contractual, and regulatory requirements, maintain critical functions, successfully implement continuity strategies using the BCP. A few assumptions that we're working under while creating the BCP was one or more critical functions is being disrupted. More than one building is not affected by the disaster. The BCP is properly stored and up to date with in multiple locations and safe areas. And Kurt Fraze is the owner and commander at the time. So invocation criteria, the authority who invokes the plan. We said the owner, Kurt Fraze, is the one that's going to invoke the plan. He can invoke the plan fully or partially. He can he gives he invokes the plan. He tells authorized personnel via telephone or in person. The plan will be invoked in 3 different disaster levels. Level 1 being a power outage or something that lasts 12 to 48 hours. This will just be a partial invocation of the plan. We'll only need to use certain areas such as the EOC and emergency contacts potentially. Level 2 is going to be a garage fire or something along those lines, something that takes out function for 2 to 7 days of our critical functions. This could be partial or full. Something that's more something that's on the 7 day end is going to be full use of the BCP, while you'll only use part of it if it's just a 2-3 day thing. And then level 3 flood disaster. This is going to be more than a week. These are things like your pandemic. The Chena River is very close to the boat shop. It's just 500 yards away. That could flood very easily and ruin all operations. This will have full invocation of the criteria in the BCP if that were to happen. Our damage assessment checklist, we have one for the main building and one for our equipment and materials. For our main building, we have the building itself, the showroom, both garage bays, the offices, and the employees. For materials, you can see the important things like all the things in the office, your computer, desk, cabinets. What's in the showroom is our motors and boats themselves. So we want to make sure the boats and hulls, motors, they're all good. The tools, the bobcats, flatbed, everything that we would use, we want to assess the damage if it comes to that. The order of succession. So Kurt Fraze is the owner, the current owner, manager over everything. Don Fitzwater is next in line if anything were to happen to Kurt. After that, it'd be Valerie Reese, the office manager, followed by Mike Cardinoff. You can see on the right here the organization or the continuity organizational structure. It starts with Kurt at the top, followed by the 3 managers that I just mentioned. They all have people working under them. Don has the most people with mechanics, a parts team, and stockers and expediters that work under him, while Mike just deals with a few people in the sales staff, and Valerie has 1 person under her as an office assistant. So the communication of information, we did this in two ways. For internal, the owner being Kurt will communicate the information. The information will be passed out on a need to know basis. This will be managers, lower level employees, contractual partners, and distributors if need be. As far as the external communication, this is going to be people in Alaskan villages, our customers, anybody that's really a boat owner, people in Fairbanks. The office manager will communicate this information. So Valerie will take over from here. Kurt just won't have time to do all this. So Valerie will take over. She'll do it through social media, radio, email, and even printed letters. Some people out in these villages rely on the parts for their boats for their own day-to-day operations, and they don't have social media or these type of things. So having printed letters sent to their address, they will know what is going on, so we can communicate our information. As far as the emergency phone numbers go, I just threw this in here so people could take a look at it really quick. I blanked out a couple because they're personal phone numbers. The EOC and alternate locations were classified. Kurt wanted me to keep those on the down low. Our RTO, so our recovery objective times, I ran through the four critical functions that the boat shop has. They were financial analysis, sales, boat maintenance, and customer service, as you can see there. Financial analysis, we are taking thousands upon thousands of dollars in at a time. I mean, you're buying a boat. This needs to be, the recovery time needs to be quick on this. I mean, you have I said 5 hours. You have 5 to 8 hours. You have that day to figure it out. You have a lot of money on hand. You have a lot of money going in and out. So you need to know where it is at the proper time. Sales, this all depends. In the winter, I mean, we could go a long time without selling a boat. It's the middle of winter. Not many people are buying boats. But I just assume that this is in the summer. So we have a week. If we're not selling things within a week, we're not making big bucks. We're barely afloat. So we need to get that going right away. Boat maintenance, this is super critical in the summer. People need their boat fixed immediately. They're unhappy. We'll lose customers due to this. This was the most critical function I found with the boat shop. In winter months, it's not crucial at all. People aren't bringing their boats out and going fishing. But in those spring, summer, and fall months, people rely on their boat for a moose hunt. I mean, some people don't get that moose. They're not eating for the year. They need that boat for that fish. Regardless, whatever it is, boat maintenance is key here. So that needs to be done ASAP. And then customer service. We need to let our customers know. I put one day there. For a lot of people in the village, they don't even know what's happening with us on a day-to-day operations. The only thing they care about is just getting their parts and their boats out to them. We just want to have customer service up and running back in one day so we can inform all of our clientele of what is happening. A few dependencies that we have are we have 2 main shipments per year. We have one in early March that consists of boat motors and accessories. This is a huge shipment. It happens every single year. Without these distributors from Yamaha, Evinrude, so on and so forth, we're not making big money without selling the boat motors. And of course, in early June, we're getting our inboard jets and our boat hulls. So those are just the main boats. These are huge sources of income. Without these, the sales department is dependent upon these 2 shipments each year. The boat shop also depends on their customers, Fairbanks residents, Alaskan villages, and employees. Employees is a huge thing. We need our employees or else we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. Moving into the plan distribution. So the plan will be distributed to authorized personnel and managers during the disruption. The owner will email or physically hand a copy of the BCP to managers who need it. The managers will then distribute pertinent information as they see fit. The plan is kept under lock and key in a location known by the owner and the managers. Copies are also online, as well as hard copies in the alternate locations, including the EOC. So for the exercise, I've outlined a scenario that will test the boat shop. It'll exercise partial execution of the BCP. You can see this exercise in week 14 under the discussion board under Mason Graves. You can check it out there. It tests the personnel, equipment, and procedures that we have in place at the time. As far as maintenance, in order to maintain the accuracy of this, a few things we need to do. It needs to be reviewed by the owner. This needs to be done annually, so once a year it needs to be checked, or it needs to be checked if there is a change in ownership, management, or company realignment. So how did I acquire this information? Where did I get it from? A lot of this information, well, all this information came from Kurt Fraze himself. I had two in-person meetings with him, and he gave me his personal cell, seeing as he's a family friend. I could give him a call at any time or shoot him a text message, and it was pretty simple to get the info. The questionnaire and the BIA were the two main things for me. Once those were filled out, I just needed to text Kurt from there on out to just fill in little holes here and there that I had going into the BCP. The information was pretty easy to get, and Kurt was super helpful along the way. I'd like to give a special thanks to Kurt Fraze, the owner of the boat shop. He again was crucial for this. It's going to help his organization. It's going to help me. And for any boating needs in the future, whether it's just accessories, oil, or you need a full-on new boat, go to the boat shop here in town. There's no other place like it. I appreciate it. Thanks for the semester. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later.